Hello, good morning.
Very good
Oh
morning.
my God, Jessica, how are you?
I'm doing very well, my brother.
My name is Claude Sinclair.
Yeah, I've seen you
I'm the
on.
chief organizer for the Paul Bogle Foundation,
Yeah.
and I want to welcome you to a wonderful day. It's going to be a beautiful experience, and it is the honor of the Paul Bogle Foundation to have you for the entire day. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're very into a great treat. The great praise poet Jessica Mbangeni, all the way from South Africa, in Jamaica, live and direct. May I take your luggage, please?
Please, my dear brother. Thank you so much.
1 minute. 1 minute right here.
I've got other accessories that
Okay.
I'm still going to wear. Right.
Can I close it? Okay. Started many years ago, and he's also the president of the St. Andrew chapter of the UNIA. Empress Jessica Mbangeni.
It's an honor and a pleasure to extend our hands in one great unity from Jamaica. We have waited so long for this moment. So Darby said, we shall unite Africans at home with Africans abroad. Welcome to us.
It's an honor for me to be here. Thank you so much, brother. I highly appreciate that the ancestors guided me to come to this place, led me, and I've arrived, and it is the right
And then, of course, Empress Oshun, which is no stranger to you, Eruz.
No stranger at all. It's my pleasure to be here today.
I'm always honored to be in your presence. Someone that is positive, very positive, lifting up the female gender. That's all right. Very positive. That this time we need positive models for our children and our future.
Yes. Today we carry on the legacy of upholding our people and honoring our great heroes and heroines.
Bless you.
A people
Yes,
That's
Coromantee people.
It's West Africa.
West Africa.
Yeah.
And as we enter the pathway that leads to the Right Honorable Paul Bogle, one of our national heroes, and Empress Jessica, Paul Bogle was such a unique individual, very selfless, very rich, was never born a slave, and that's what made his story even more remarkable.
I'd like to take off the shoes.
Okay. As a gesture from our country, South Africa, Jessica Mbangeni removes her slipper before she touched the site of Paul Bogle, one of our great freedom fighters. You can hold her hand and get her up, and I'll hold and press. All right. And as we go towards the right, you'll see the shrine and a bust of the Right Honorable Paul Bogle. Paul Bogle was born in the 1800s, and he was a deacon minister in the parish of St. Thomas. And when you think about the plight of the people in St. Thomas, how wicked they were being treated by our colonial masters at the time, he decided to put his wealth aside. He owns many acres of land, over 5,000 acres of land. He put that aside, put all his riches aside, and I would call it went into the belly of the beast, because Stony Gut is at an angle that goes down, so it's very deep, and that is where they took our ancestors and threw them. And he went right there in the belly of the beast. So it is our honor to present Jessica Mbangeni, all the way from South Africa, paying her respect to the Right Honorable Paul Bogle. Can I have one of those flowers, please? Right Honorable Paul Bogle.
Mathambalela ukuthula noqhawa sekhaya magorhako wethu. Nina enincame ubomi benu, nina enincame incamisa yencindi yobomi, kodwa nijonge imiphefumlo ebixhithwa, ilahlekiswa, ibulawa, inqunqwa, nazilahlela. Paul Bogle, siyabulela enkosi ngokuma umelinyaniso, sithi mazenethole kuni mathambalela ukuthula maqhawa sekhaya. Siyazi ukuthi imiphefumulo yenu isemile namhlanje, isaphila, isathi inkululeko yomAfrika mayibuye, inkululeko yomAfrika noba uphi na mayenzeke. Silapha simnikeza imbeko, silapha simnikeza uzuko kuni ngokuba nina nabambisana nokhokho bethu, nabambisana nobuthixo bukaThixo obungaphakathi kwenu ukuze nisilwele isizwe sonke. Sithi mazenethole ngokuzincama, sithi mazenethole, phumlani kakuhle, niphinde futhi nibambisane nathi ukuze lamagxa niwavulileyo sikwazi ukuma phezu kwawo. Nathi namhlanje sizivela ukuba indeed we are standing on the shoulders of the giant to free the African soul wherever it is in the world. Siyabulela ngokuba nivuselela izazela zethu ukuba sikhangele lendlela eyahanjwa ngokhokho bethu
bezokutshutshiswa besenziwa makhoboka kula madotya nalamathambeka. Enkosi ngokuba nisikhokela nisibiza noba sikweziphi iimbombo zomhlaba nisithi ewe nilele kule ndawo, ewe niphefumla kule ndawo. Siyayiva ke imiphefumlo yenu sithi makube chosi kube hele. Kuthi nabantwana abasezayo umlisela nomthinjana ukwazi ukubona, ukwazi ukuliva ilizwi lenu, ukwazi ukuma okumela inyaniso, ukwazi ukuba singathengisi ngesizwe sethu nobuhlanga bethu nobuzwe bethu namasiko ethu, sikwazi ukuzingca ngokuba kaloku nina nasimela. Sithi camagu makube chosi kubehele. Nanku umntanenu ithole lomgquba, ithole leduna, ugubevu tibujiyana, ishuba soshubela abantwana ukhala khululum labantwana, umgodi omdala wadida amantshontsho, iinkomo zikatiba, iinkomo zikasijekula, iinkomo zikanwamba ezandla intsimkabhanqo zayikhukuza zayitshayela. Ndim umzukulwana wamatolo, ndim umzukulwana womchenge, ndim umzukulwana wodlanga amandla, ndim umzukulwana wondaba obhadelo tshiba sonkuluka. Ndikule ndawo nindibizile ukuba ndibe phakathi kwenu, ndime ndizawukwazi ukufumana ifuthe, ngoba kudala ndizikhangela ukuba mna ndifuze bani, ndifuze nina. Ndicela ukuba olu fuzo luye ndifuze ndigqithise ukuze abantwana bomthonyama bakwazi ukukhululeka kwisizwe seAfrika, kwizizwe zonke ngokubanzi. Bathongwe lizwe lobutyebi. Ndithi camagu, ndithi camagu, ndithi makudede ubumnyama buvele ukukhanya, makudede ubumnyama kuvele ukukhanya, makudede ubumnyama kuvele ukukhanya. Sithi camagu.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very sad time for me because I felt the connection, the spiritual connection of Jessica Mbangeni speaking to our ancestors from all the way in South Africa to this side to meet a brother that fought for us and eventually gave his life for us. Long live the memory of Paul Bogle forever and ever. was an integral part of the Right Excellent Paul Bogle's life as a deacon in the Native Baptist Church. The Right Excellent George William Gordon was also closely tied to this mission. Gordon opened churches across St. Thomas in Bath, Spring, and Sunning Hill. Paul Bogle, as Gordon's superintendent, was a leader in the Native Baptist Church for several years prior to his ordination on March 5, 1865. Here, on a small slope on the eastern section of his property, Bogle built a chapel to serve his community. Description of the chapel states that it was of small dimension and had whitewashed walls. It was possibly constructed by wattle and daub, cut stone or Spanish walling, and roof with thatch or wooden shingles. The entrance is marked by the remaining of 4 cut stone steps. The structure, which is known as Bogle's Chapel or the Stony Gut Chapel, was originally named Highland or Highland Castle. The church was opened in Christmas 1864 and christened by George William Gordon, Paul Bogle, William Bogle, and William Bond. The village and chapel were destroyed by fire by the militia during the 1865 Marant Bay Rebellion. The location of Bogle's home and the chapel were subsequently lost until Philip Bogle identified the site in the 1970s. Stony Gut, the home of Bogle, and the remains of the chapel was declared a national monument on November 5, 1992. Over the past decade, the Stony Gut site has been the subject of various surveys and excavations conducted by the Jamaican National Heritage Trust, such as the 2002 excavation. The artifacts unearthed illustrated the chapel's importance as a community center. Bogle's chapel transcended religion, as it also served as a school, socio-political meeting place. The Island Castle Chapel was a symbol of pride for the village. Here's the remains of the cut stone, which is that right there. You can take over from here.
Okay.
Identify who you are.
Donovan Edwards.
Speak loudly.
Caretaker, monument guide, and tour guide. Stone Bogle.
I'm pleased to meet you. Blessed Lord.
Well, as you was told, here, if you come right closer here. Okay, here it is the remainder of the steps. They said that this is where the chapel used to be, and I can tell you from my personal experience, some archaeologists from the National Heritage Trust came here and they did some digging. You see on the pictures on there. And we found the remains that could show you clearly that the chapel used to be here. The small stones that they tell you about and the shingles, we found a lot here. Yeah? And we even find pipes and stuff like those, showing you that this is here.
Clay pipes?
Yeah, clay pipes. Yeah. And it is said the village used to be down there. Up here used to be property. So the village used to be down that section. Here you come down that road before you take the slope to come down here. The road that continue down. Then you see a white car park up there.
Right.
Yeah, that road that continue down. That's a Stony Gut road, the original Stony Gut road that takes you to the village. Because they used to have marketplace down there, and that's where all the people used to be living. So they say Paul Bogle used to be living here. Because when I go over there, I'll explain more of that to you. The reason why this is where Paul Bogle used to be living.
What is it like? Explain to Jessica, what is it like, say, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when it feels like raining? Remember that experience that we had? Explain.
Yeah, especially when the water is running in the gully there and you can hear the sound. Oh, it is so, you call it tranquility. It is so quiet, it is so peaceful. It's something to experience. Something to experience. You have to experience it personally for yourself so as to know the experience I'm talking about. My own experience won't tell you.
So Africa can come, the visitors from Africa can come and have their weddings in here.
Certainly.
Yes.
That would be great. That would be great.
We will look forward for the collaborations of the development so that we can have the chalets and build the villages again.
Okay.
Yes,
That would be
the
great.
chalets that will be resembling the villages.
Yeah, and that will bring some blessing to the community.
Yes.
And develop community
And develop,
tourism,
yeah.
homestay.
Yeah.
And
Looking
study
forward.
tours,
Looking
study
forward to
tours.
that. Okay, we're gonna go over there and I'll tell you more.
I'd like to ask you to pour libation to the Right Honorable Paul Bogle. Sure.
Paul Bogle, umzila wenyawo zakho ubonakele kumaqhawe asekhaya. Nqa ngena entsiba yakwaBogle, uthi umculi liza lisidinga lakho, Thixo Nkosi yenyaniso. Zonke inhlanga, zonke izizwe mazizuze usindiso. Yonke lento namhlanje enza uhlabelela lo mculo kuba kaloku iqula endiliphathisiweyo kwelaseMzantsi Afrika. Ndithi kuwe liza lisidinga lakho, Thixo Nkosi yenyaniso. Zonke inhlanga, zonke izizwe mazizuze usindiso. Bona izwe lakowethu uxolele izono zalo ngeziphithiphithi zethu. Yonakele imihlaba yala Nkosi sikayitheli. Imfundiso zezwi lakho uze usivuselele. Sive inyaniso zakho. Ngwelesheshe isixeko sakwaJuda, manga kulunganga kanti kulungile. Wonga ngqoli amazulu ehlele etroneni yozuko nobabalo. Ingelosi ziyaguqa ziyakhothama ziqhoqhozela amaphiko zikunikeza uzuko. Nsuluntini yafihlakalo, nsuluntini yasimanga eyabonwa ngamagqobhoka. Wena uhambethi indili nokungangamela, ulothi uhambe ukukhanya njengengubo, uloneka izulu lakho njengelengalenga lentente. Siyamkhumbula umkhonzi wakho uPaul Bogle, siyamkhumbula ngemisebenzi yakhe ngoba isithunywa sakho ukuze ahlangule abantwana bakho. Aw, siyabulela Thixo wethu ngoba izimfazwe zoloyiso zimfazwe zamagorha kowethu, amagorha eAfrika ngokubanzi. Yophinda wenze njalo ke mkhonzi kaThixo, ukusikhumbula, ukhumbula amabandla ethu angathengisi ngenyaniso. Usikhumbule Paul Bogle, usikhumbule, ukhumbule inkokheli zethu ezikhonzweni. Usikhumbule Paul Bogle, usikhumbule inyaniso kaThixo mayivuthe phakathi kwabantwana bakho, ukuze uThixo wethu ahlangule isizwe sethu. Kube khona ubunye emhlabeni jikelele, kube khona ubunye emhlabeni wonke, kube khona uxolo. We speak global peace, we speak unity, we speak humanity, we speak global power, black power. We speak Africa for Africans. We speak diversity. We speak unity in diversity. We speak love, eternal love, divine love. Oh, siyabulela Thixo wethu othandekayo. Siyabulela nakaloku nje Nkosi yethu ngoba usithandile ukuba sihlale sikhumbula amaqhawe asekhaya awabanikeza ubuntu, wabanikeza ukuba basikhumbule, bayenze imisebenzi yakho, bawufezekise besaphila emhlabeni. Siphilela loo nto, siphilela injongo yakho. Iqinise ke Thixo ebomini bethu, nathi nabantwana bethu nesizukulwane esilandelayo sikwazi ukuba sifezekise iminqweno yakho nenjongo yakho Thixo. Siyathandaza, sibulela, sicela kuwe, sithi iba nawo lo mzi, siba nawo lo mzi wase-Caribbean Islands, iba nawo onke amathambo Thixo wam othandekayo ukuze ashukume. Bubulani ngengoma sinimamele, qhobani izandla nimemelele. Siyabulisa kuwe Paul Bogle, siyabulisa kunimaqhawe nonke, sithi makube Khosi kube.
Asheo. Long memory of the great national hero, the Right Honorable Paul Bogle, in the minds and hearts of everyone in this parish in St. Thomas, in the minds and heart of Africans in Jamaica and abroad. We've had the praise poetry and the invocation of Jessica Mbangeni has come to us from South Africa, and we'll take our message back of unity, global unity, trade, peace, and love, Ubuntu. She's brought, representing the Mother Goddess, Queen Mother. She will take our message of freedom and of eternal peace, love, and resilience of a people. We'll take that back. That's our nature as Africans, forever fighting, forward ever, backwards never. Up, up, you mighty race. We can accomplish what we will. One God, one aim, one destiny.
I am an African.
I am
an African.
African.
Yes. Once again, Jessica, we give thanks for you accepting our invitation to come over here. This year actually marks the 20th year since I become the founder and president of the Paul Bogle Foundation, born out of vision. And I have been doing the work to see what I can actually accomplish during my time on this earth. I would just like to give you a backdrop, a synopsis of really what was happening. We had a situation in Jamaica where slavery was abolished. But the only means that people have to survive was farming. Black people had no access to land. So it is as if they were held hostage, not having any access to land. The powers that be was arresting, flogging, imprisoning, doing all kind of barbaric things to the people in St. Thomas, especially in St. Thomas here. Paul Bogle was like the most fortunate because not only he owned a bakery, but the Bogle family was the richest black family exists in 1865 in Jamaica. The history book says Paul Bogle owned 503 acres of land. Paul Bogle owned over 3,000 acres of land. Wow. With mule, ass, donkey, cow, all different. He was a farmer, he was a baker, and he was a churchman. So when Paul Bogle decided to first walk from here to the first capital of Jamaica to seek an audience with the governor, that means he would have to pass through Kingston and go another 15 miles outside of Kingston. He did that twice. and the governor reject him, because who is this little black man and his little people and to come down here and talk about they want to have an audience with me. So it happened that we are going to go to Mark Day, where they hang Paul Bogle. But before we get to the hanging, they had what was called a vestry meeting. That is 29 of the white men that were sent from England as leaders of this country was meeting down there. After several attempts, Paul Bogle and his men went down to see if they could actually get an audience once again with the establishment. By this time, you know, black people singing and going in and playing the drum and going into the city. The meeting, they claimed that the meeting was disrupted as a result of the singing and the drumming. So they ordered to shoot, killing 7 of Paul Bogle men. But it escalated into all 29 white men. Head got cut off in this parish. And not only did Paul Bogle and his men cut off all 29 of them head, but they light the vestry, a fire with them. But out of this, that's what gave birth to what is called the New Jamaica. The Queen of England and the Parliament of England won. Morant Bay rebellion or uprising was discussed for 7 consecutive years because of the transformation, the universal transformation that Morant Bay rebellion was able to create. The Queen had to change the laws in every colony because they became fearful that people, having heard what Paul Bogle did, they were going to emulate Paul Bogle. Paul Bogle is the only national hero in Jamaica that fought for land. Paul Bogle and George William Gordon, as you see the name.
It is a great honor for me, and I will convey the messages to the fellow South Africans and to the regions as well that I travel to in Africa, and mostly in the Congress of the World Peace in South Korea in September. I will convey the message to the whole world. It is indeed the world needs. We need the spirit clarity, the cleansing, so that we can unite in peace and love. And I thank you.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the conclusion of the libation as poured by Jessica Mbangeni of South Africa, world-class praise poet, and also the great-great-grandson of Paul Bogle, Constantine Bogle. We will now continue into Morant Bay, where history changed the whole outlook of this great country. The journey continues. Thank you.
here, they had a big trench right here that the white man had dug and just threw the bodies of the 437 people and more in one big trench. It was only in 1965, 3 years after Jamaica became independent and come under black government, that they built that grave around there and put all 437 in that one tomb. I can tell you this as a fact, and you can research it. Not one of who stand in Jamaica as Prime Minister has never lay a wreath around there for these people. I've never visited Stony Gut. I've never stand up and speak anything in the parliament that the people make blood sacrifice. When we ask them even to light a candle on the day that the national hero, not even, the house is called Garden House, which is one of Jamaica national hero. Two of them hang right here. And you having parliament is meeting, and they are so proud that they can't light a candle. The building was named after the national hero. They are there because of the blood sacrifice of these people. And nothing. When the budget is read in this country, not a dollar is read for Marcus, Garvey, Paul, Bogle, Nani. Nothing, absolutely nothing for none of the national hero. But they will tell you in the most passionate way about their affection and their love when it is convenient to them, or when they believe that it will help them to identify. They will come and make the most passionate talk. You'd swear that you were dealing with a real black people who have the interests of our people at hand. None has ever laid a wreath for those 437 people. A few years ago, they celebrate 50 years of independence. These people gave independence, and their name was never mentioned. They tried to shift the story, but you can research it for yourself. Because the truth, no matter how you twist the truth and how you turn the truth is easy to find out. It is written right there. So this parish, like I tell you, is the place. This is the place where the blood sacrifice of thousands take place, that gave real birth to the transformation. So thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. This history is same as the Khoisan history, who were the first people to lose their lives in the struggle defending our freedom and identity. They are not recognized. Their language is not recognized. They are not recognized as one of the tribes in South Africa, of which we are speaking about unity in diversity, of which there are those who were the first to lose their lives, and also whose culture and humanity has perished. So, but we are working, and we are working with the generations that still exist, and I think this is the most important time for me to be here, so that we can collaborate and revive the true heritage of our people.
Give thanks. undeveloped. Lot of international politics and those that pretend like they're working for us, but they really are working against us. Right? So they understand and we know what is going on. So it will have to take, we'll have to do what we have to do, move who we have to move.
bathatha apho nomqolo ukuze kubekho inkcubeko yoluntu lweAfrika. Babexhosa kubele kudethi kumnyama kuvele kukhanya kusebenzeke imisebenzi yeni ibonakale ngesizukulwana nesizukulwana. Sithi
spirit of the ancestors who lie here, the 437, we bring together our spirits, all who stand here now, to profess, and all of the ancestors with us, to bless them and appease them, and to let them know that they're loved, and we want to continue to walk with them and they with us, because you are in us. So this day, we remember you, and we bring our love and we will have an offering to appease you, appease your spirits. We want peace in the land, cessation of killing and crime, molestation of children. We want all the water that we need. We want all the food we need, but we need to appease the blood of innocents, the innocent 437 or more that have been killed here in this spot, on this heart of Jamaica in St. Thomas, this beautiful natural harbor. We pray that the Most High, Jehovah, Jah, Yah, Elohim, El Shaddai, we pray for the cessation of all evil, the cessation of all crime in this place, and we know we must appease our ancestors, because the ground in which we stand is holy ground. We honor our ancestors, and we're here praise you and appease you, and so it is. Thanks to the Most High. Ashe, 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 Ashe.
Afrika nozala wama-Afrika, Afrika nozala wamzonsundu, Afrika nozala wamlisela nomthinjana we-Afrika. Sifikile zikrelemnqa zingezizekusakusa, sizenzono zakusaku. Yanqisha intombi enkulu yakhamba ngawo mane yalandula, akhuduzela amabhedengu abhibhidla amazinyo bude papa meqala ukubhale wasuka wabhebhetha. Bebekulukuhle kulahlekisa amalokonyam kodwa wayilahla imbo yakho ngophoyana. Bebekudobhadobha bekunyathela bekubisa ngenqantosi mhlaba omnyama mhlaba wakhokho masimahlasa masimachumleyo achunyiswe kukuzinqa nebhongo lama-Afrika. Unike ma-Afrika ndithi hontu ngenxa yenyameko yokumela inyaniso nenzondelelo yokugcina uzinzo lwe-Afrika kuba kaloku lo mhlaba nalamatyatsho igolide nesilivere inkazimlo yafingena kuthi hayi xa belorhutyula abarhwaphiliza exhaphaza amaqhalanga. dada sibuyile inkomo zikatata besiyolobola amabhula aye oh ayo Afrika nozala wama-Afrika Afrika nozala wamzonsundu Afrika nozala wamlisela nomthinjana we-Afrika sifikile sikrelemnqa singezisekusakusa sizenzonozakusa yanqisha intombi enkulu yakhamba ngawo mane yalandula abhuduzela amabhedengwa bibhidla amazinyo bude papa meqala umbhale wasuka wabhebhetha ebekulukuhle kulahlekisa amalokonya kodwa wayilahla imbo yakho ngophoyana bebekudobhadobha bekunyathela bekubisa ngenqantosi mhlaba omnyama mhlaba wakhokho masimaxhumleyo aqunyiswe kukuzinqa nebhongo lama-Afrika kunike ma-Afrika ndithi huntu ngenxa yenyameko yokumela inyaniso nenzondelelo yokugcina uzinzo lwe-Afrika kuba kaloku lo mhlaba nalamatyathi igolide nesilivere inkasimlo yafingena ukuthi hayi xa belorhutyula abarhwaphiliza exhapha zamaqhalanga qhubekani izintondini nani izintokasi qhubekani makwethini nani maqhiyazana nisenimthobela uthixo wayihlokhulu yisophaluka kurharha bungqika ngoba kaloku luyaphansi iqhinga kamtyholi uwabona ngumprofethi usikele emdudweni elakubana uqhilazo nenzo makhoboka yilani ngegemba amabhule kwamayilili amathinithin amathivela amathidolo rholihlahla ntokamanela sindibaya kwalisalansulu wanathanda uthuthu lwezinto zengwevu zangaphambili omqenge ostifiko kristoni robert sobukwentetha amaqhawekazi oliliyengoyi noazileytambo rhambeli nendevula kwamthirhapha You have upheld the dignity and the stature of the African child in the entire universe. You have brought back freedom and democracy to the African continent. Ulukhali luhlahla lwenhlonipho yokuhlonitshwa komntu omnyama we-Afrika kulezoliphela. Ulukhali luhlahla belufudula lukhwathiliswe lwaza lwafukanya buhlungwini betyhefu yerhambela imnyama labentlanga. Nagalanda sidala lamadima alala madima dibindonga hloza bhubha madima usunqatha ubisemna lo ndiligube vukazi ndawufana indawo yakho sizwe sabathembu siyandingqinela ndithi umlakhu umpashe nqanqa sizesisa siyandivumela sidadalibhunga mandukuyeke madiba mandukuyeke yemyem abafazi basemvezo bokuthakatha Deham.